Well, hello, good afternoon, how are you? It's the most stunning, super warm autumn day here in Melbourne. So first of all, I should say hello to everyone and our bestest wishes to all our friends recovering from floods and goodness knows what up north. Who's here this afternoon? Oh, volume. Not good on computer. Let's just get rid of that or it's going to go ding, ding, ding all afternoon. Oh, that was Cass saying, where's the photo for the recipe I just did for a quilter's life? Better send it to her straight after the show. Okay, who we got? Francis, good afternoon. Let's do the romper room thing. Karen's here. Helen and Nancy. Oh my goodness, you're all here. This Saturday afternoon thing's not bad, is it? It's a good time, and I hope you're all kicking back with some slow sewing or sewing furiously in an air-conditioned sewing room. Isn't that the way it goes? Who have I missed? Bernadette and Chris, hello. Carol and Nancy, and Carol says hello, Lisa and friends. And we are all friends, aren't we? It's quite lovely. Louise and Yvonne, good afternoon to you. Helen. Oh, hello, Sue Broadway. How are you down your end of town? It's been a while, mate. It's been a while. Linda, hi. Cheryl, hi. Barb. Yes, all the other crafters. Or, Barbara, perhaps all the other crafty ones. Maybe that's the line we should use. Hello, Kathy and Joan. Christine, Davey. How's your mum? She good today? Joan, you good today? Oh, Karen DeWitt says she's working on her applique sampler while watching. Yes, well, let's not go there because I need to get going. I need to do a little demo for you. I have been asked for the Sturt P and we've got to get onto the kangaroo paw demo. Hello, Pat. Lynn, hello. Why was I thinking of you this morning, Lynn? I always think of you when I get out the overlocker because I know you've got a couple. Catherine is watching while babysitting her friend's two youngest on a wet day, again here on the Central Coast. Oh, you poor things. We do not have that rain down here. Maggie Moo! Hello! Oh, sorry, I shouldn't shout. Coming your way soon. Meg, Nagambi. Gathering. It's happening. Soiree. You're going to have to come down. Do you want to flat in with me for the weekend? Yeah. Oh, Lake Tyers Beach, if you don't mind, Christine. Maggie, good afternoon to you, and Manuel. Josie's here. Hello, Miss Josie. Now, why do I think of you? I think of you all the time. Josie, you were with me, yesterday while sorting out my creative box in the cupboard with all the fun blingy bits and pieces and buttons and things in. Does that sound about right? Yeah, that's you and me. That was one of those moments. Yvonne Collinson, good afternoon. Your door prize is in the mail to you. Oh, we need to do that this afternoon, don't we? We've got the next door prize ready to go. Good afternoon, Michelle Fisher. You're cleaning out your sewing room this afternoon. Oh, those of you in a quilter's life, you did get my note, didn't you? It really wasn't meant to be a bossy lecture about use by month, but I think it came across that way. But I know I've fired a couple of you up to clean stuff out. Sally Cox, good afternoon. Nice day in Ballarat. You've got Craft Alive coming down your way, haven't you? Yes, you do. And not me. Sorry, can't do it. Already booked up for that weekend. Rob's birthday also on that weekend, so I'm a no to me. Because I know a few of you asked. Joy Crawford, good afternoon. Oh, hello. Nan is in Brisbane. And Vicky's in New Zealand. Oh, I like that. Vicky, we're allowed back in from the 14th of April and I'm very, very excited. Not that I had planned to come in a hurry. Ooh, but now, got to think about it. I really want to bring Stephen to New Zealand, down south. You know, get down south and get him walking around the base of Mount Cook and stuff. Just, can't wait. Can't believe it's 2 years since we were there. Ooh, I think I needed sugar this afternoon. It was a bit much. Right, so what I want to do today, my Facebook and I are not friends. We're just not friends at the moment. There we go. Debbie, hello to you too. Nice to see you. All right, this afternoon a little bit of a show and tell. First of all, I need to mention that you will see a little Saturday specials banner when you finish the show on the top of the website. It does look different to what it usually does, and that's because the app, you know, that trendy word that we like to use, makes it look like we know what we're talking about. The app that we used for that little banner to link into things on the top of the website, it's not working today, which is a bit of a problem. I can't complain too much because it was a free add-on app. See, I can add more words to that. Add-on app. So Steve's linked us up at the last minute before going in outside and fixing the exhaust on his car. That's the term I'm using for the exhaust. I'm not suggesting that he's making the exhaust noisier again. No, I'm not. Fixing the exhaust on the ute. He's linked us up with another one, so it looks a little bit different, but it should all work fine. Anyway, if there is any issues with it this afternoon, the keyword to put into the search engine today is show 31. Yes, show 31. Just all one word, show 31, and it will bring up everything. There's a couple of specials in there, but today is also about just showing you everything that I'm having a play with. And today really is a play. There's no big finished project. It's really a little bit of a technique day. And a little bit of inspiration, I hope, for you. And you know, I'm not really good at playing school teacher with teaching patchwork, because I'm self-taught, and the girls, quilters doing the applique sampler know that. I say, oh, what shall I do for the borders? And I go design your own. I've given you all the tools. Go off and design your own. Pam, I sent an email, Pam Stanton, I sent an email to Steve this morning and go, you'll never guess what. So that's being fixed up for you. Let's not talk about it. Oh, Kathy's just finished her butterfly block. Sensational. Good afternoon, Bronwyn and Karen, and Mel's here too. So what I want to do, there's a little bit of a pile sitting here on my little workbench, and underneath you can see the glow of my light box. So I'm working towards doing the first in a very, very, very long time craft and cook show. And I thought, you know, I'm going to share what I'm doing with everyone this afternoon and give you a little preview, a little heads up, for some of you a little freebie, applique mat, to just for a little bit of inspiration, because one of the flowers that is left in my garden are pansies. So first of all, you know what I'm going to say. If you are in a quilter's life, this little pattern here, maybe if I turn the light off you'll be able to see it. This little pattern here, I'll turn it around for you. This little row of pansies is just being popped up by Cass for you on Quilter's Life. And do remember, with a Quilter's Life, you need to go through and click on all the buttons of all the different sections there that you wish to be notified of when something new comes up. So you go through and you push all the little follow buttons, and then you will get a notification, an email when something goes up. But this has gone up in AQL Makes this afternoon, so you've got that for free. If you would like a copy of this particular pattern of the pansy row, and it comes with a separate little one to use as well, if you just want one on its own, then it is just for $2 on the website, a digital download, and Steve's popped it up this afternoon. So you've got a choice. There's lots and lots of choices. You can join a Quilter's Life, which is $10 a month, and hop in there with your $10 membership. You'll get that. You'll get the $17.50 Madison bag pattern that we did last Tuesday, and a plethora of stuff, heaps and heaps. And you'll also, you know, there's truckloads of stuff in there now. Oh, I just finished, for those that watched my vlog from earlier in the week, I've just finished off the C&E slice recipe, and the C&E slice recipe is the Christmas and Easter slice recipe. So it takes your leftovers from the fridge that are left from Christmas, that are still on the door of your fridge, and puts them into a slice, and you pop it in the freezer ready for Easter. And it was very, very nice when I whipped it up this afternoon. So it uses up things like fruit mince and cranberry sauce and all those sorts of things. Anyway, so you can join and get it part of your membership. You can download it for $2 and use all the fabric you've got, or I am going to send it out with a couple of the different pre-cut packs that I'm showing you today. So there's oh, that was a bit serious, wasn't it? Put the glasses on. So Yes, they are your options. So with this, I have things that I want to do. It's about me, but what I'm doing with this, first of all, for the Craft and Cook show, we've got to resurrect very quickly. Super duper. I want to make this row of pansies in this pre-cut pack. So this is the Dusty Petite pack that I put up a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to applique them onto the French linen. So there's going to be a row of pansies right over the top of all of the very subtle fine writing that's on the linen. The other one, I haven't popped it under today's specials or featured products as well, is the Michael Miller one, the manuscript one. I'll show it to you on Tuesday. We'll do it Tuesday. But see, look, that on that I think would look gorgeous. Now, what I'm doing to create my cushion insert, because I'm going to make this into a cushion, my cushion insert will be taking a European sized cushion insert. I have too many of them and they're taking up a lot of space. So I'm actually going to take one of those and I'm going to halve the size of it. I'm going to chop it so it's only half as high, and the bit that I chop off I'm going to use to lengthen. So I might end up making another insert, cushion insert to go in, but essentially I'm taking one of these European cushions that I'm not using at the moment and taking all the stuffing and using it to make a longer one instead of a square one. I just would be really gorgeous if I had some cushions and then just have a little, you see them in the magazines and on Instagram, don't you? You have a feature cushions in the background and then you just have a nice little long one in the front with my pansies on, and then a nice pot of pansies through winter on the couch, bring the garden inside, all that stuff. And then this little separate one I've got, to me, drop dead gorgeous size here. There's some extra little leaves down here if you want to add more foliage on. Okay, but with this one I'm going to make one of our book covers, and I will use this again because I can. I'll have a bit left over from a probably half metre cut. What do we sell this in? 25 centimetre increments. So if I'll have some left over because I probably will put black on the back. Don't know, haven't made my mind up yet. But I'll also use what I've got left to make a book cover. Now that's also a digital download, and you've also already got it in a Quilter's Life. So I'll put that together. I've got precious girlfriend's birthday in a couple of weeks. I'm making 2 book covers for her. I mentioned to the girls on AQL. One of them with some vintage upholstery fabric, Liberty upholstery fabric. I made mum cushions for Christmas. I've got a little bit left. And I'm making the bookmark that goes in it from the selvage that says Liberty. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to make her one in the linen, just with that one applique pansy on the front, and give her a little pot of pansies. She's one of those girls, she has everything, and the thing that she appreciates is something like that, that's handmade by her pseudo sister. So that's what's going on. So what I wanted to just run through with you is the technique now, and then if you want to go off and do your own, you absolutely can. So the thing about this little design is really, you know the rule, don't you? You're supposed to turn the guidelines, just when I said there's no rules. The whole idea usually, if I want exactly this look, then I need to flip it and I need to draw over the top on this side. And you've done it again, girls. Hang on, I've got to grab a pen. I always do that. Always tidy up and take the pen out. Okay, so what I would usually do if I definitely need the reverse, is flip it over, pop it on the light box, and I'll retrace the design onto the back. And then I would pop my Blizer Fix or my steamer seam over the top and trace on this side, because then that will give me the reverse pattern. Yes? Yes. But because this particular little row of pansies, I'm not really fussed which way round it ends up. I don't mind if this leaf sticks out down the other end and that curls up the other one. So I'm just going to use it as it is, and when I'm finished it'll be in reverse, and that's perfectly fine. The one thing that I just want to mention, because I don't know, when you all watch, I don't know who's done this type of applique before. I certainly know that my applique sampler girls have, but I don't know which of you have. Wait, you're all talking to me and I've just lost you all again. Facebook is not playing nice today. I can't see. There we go. We use, oh wait, you're all here. What's this? Love the pansy design. Oh, thank you, Carol. Pansies are your favourite flower. I shall remember that, Judy B. We use souvenir tea towels on the back of our cushions in our family. My nan had. That's a fantastic idea, Catherine. I've been making mine into my veggie bags to take to the supermarket instead of freezer bags, and to store my spuds in that I keep putting off going and digging up. I've got to do it this afternoon or tomorrow. But what a fantastic idea. Yes, because they're nice and thick. Nice and thick. Okay. The one, because I don't know who has and who hasn't done this, bear with me. I'm going to come down to this one. No, that's the one with the traced bit on the back. Let's use this one here. What I need to do, because I want all these beautiful elements to all be separate and perhaps in different colours. I'll just pull down my friends up here. So I'm going to have my dusky pink. I'm going to use these two for my dusky pink. Pansies. I need to work out which ones are overlapping each other. So if you have a look at that there, you can see that this one here sits under this one sits under both of these. So I come through and I actually use letters to label them in the order. You can see what I'm trying to do, can't you? I'm trying to do it upside down for you. B. So this one will go over this one. This will be C. He can go over there. So this one is B. I love doing this with a cuppa to work out the order they go in. Heavens, I'm wrong, aren't I? He's going to have to go on first, and he, back the front, is going to be D. So one, A on, then these two, then that one, and then that one. So you've got to work out your layer up. Now, at the end of the day, as they say, if they all end up in a different order, heavens, it's a pansy. It's not going to matter. If one overlaps the other way around, who's going to know? No one's going to know. It'll be perfectly fine. Hello, Jill in the Blue Mountains. Hello, Leslie. Oh, thank you for joining me this afternoon. Karen Calver's in the building. Mate, how are you? We've had a conversation today, haven't we? Well, I've emailed you, yes. Hello, Anne. Oh, you're all here. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. Label them all up. Then I go back and I will, please excuse me, turn it around. Then I number them. One, and it doesn't matter which order, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then those numbers I will transfer onto my steamer set. I just want to do one so that we get it all under control and show you how they all go together on an applique mat. Now, obviously, leaves, I'm not going to bother putting down an order for these because they all sit underneath the flower. But for the purpose of marking them out, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm going to use steamer seam. As I've mentioned to you recently, we have actually changed to a wider steamer seam because a lot of people are buying a lot. So actually I'm going to run with the same side today. It will stick to either side when you take off one of the bits of paper. So it's actually wider. So if you haven't bought it for a while, it's, you know what, it is super sticky. I can usually do that, but it's quite warm in here, so I'm going to pop that back for a tick. Yeah, anyway, so if you haven't bought it for a while and you go, heavens, it's gone up, it's actually because it's wider. Speaking of things going up, oh my goodness me, fabrics, it's not looking pretty, girls, I can tell you at the moment with the shipping rates. Okay, so I've just drawn on one little leaf. I want to turn that round and show you just there. So see, I've got that on there. So now that I've done that, because it sits underneath the flower, I go back and I add on a tab like that. And that little tab is what's going to sit underneath the flower. So whenever you're doing this, wherever you overlap, and again, I know I'm telling a lot of you how to suck eggs, but just remember you've got to add that tab. Maybe it's just worth saying, because sometimes we haven't done this for a while, we do forget. So that was 8, this one's 7, and this one's 6. Now, while I am doing this, I could have done here's the one I prepared earlier and saved us all some time, couldn't I? While I'm doing this, please write this down. Trybooking.com.au. Our soiree on the 14th and 15th is number 6. Oh, now I feel like I'm doing the Tats Lotto draw. There's number 6. Our soiree on the 14th and 15th is now available for booking through trybooking.com.au. Michelle Fisher, I know you've booked. I saw. So, yes, if you would like to join us, we would love to see you. Now, there are all the details that you need on trybooking.com, and when you go in, you're going to search for the Needlecrafters Soiree. This one's a little tricky one because he sits under 2 leaves. I'll turn that around for you so you can see. See that? He's going to sit underneath with a petal overlapping on both sides. So it's all there. It is 75 schmackers per day. So there's 2 days. You can come to 1 day or you can come to 2. Evidently I have to go to 2, but that would make sense, wouldn't it? And each day, Margaret Upston and Karen Stiles will be spending a lovely day with you. Your hostesses with the mostest are also providing and baking themselves the morning tea. So no commercial goodies, all home-baked goodies. I believe that Karen's chocolate chip cookies are an experience that must be had. I know for 1 day I'm doing my lemon white chocolate coconut fudge slice. Okay, that's number 5. Anyway, so it's all there. Please have a look. If you're wondering about public transport, the stuff that's not written on there that I know that you might ask about, if you're in public transport, yes, there is a station to Garfield. In Garfield, have a look on the map. It's not far from town. Not as close as Nagambie, Megan. Sorry. And we will be offering a shuttle from the station if you don't want a brisk kilometre walk. And the thing is, you're not going to need to bring much to carry. You just got to bring a little bag with your lunch and your mug. Now the mug thing, as I said, we're not being lazy. We're just being the good COVID careful stuff. Hello Diana, what are you doing? Oh, you're doing some needle turn applique. Diana, for fun, you really should put up a link for the girls in my comments with my permission to your shop. You really should, because when else are my girls going to have a look at a beautiful shop like yours in Costa Rica? They're just not. So you should please put the link in. I'd love you to. That would be really nice. And 1 year, Diana, or 1 year, and we're going to meet up at Stitches next week in Spain, because remember what I said, everyone put their hand up that's coming to Spain, and you all said yes. I rang a few people after that show and said, we got a problem, the girls are all coming to Spain. But that's it's all going to be wonderful. But yeah, Maria's there with her stand next week. What the dickens happened to all my scissors? Maybe I'll just use the small ones. I had a bigger pair here. I was so organised. They've gone walkabout. I have been sewing for an hour. Let me just grab a bigger pair, girls. Rightio, maybe not this big, but these will do. Soiree, yes. It's going to be great. I just can't wait to catch up with everyone in person, just like Craft Alive. but bigger, because everyone will be there to spend some time with us, which is just going to be great, and with each other. I've had a couple of girls, Bernadette included, who's booked and said, I've booked a single ticket, please pop me on a table with some Occultist Life girls and some Chandler's Cottage Life girls. And I've said, of course, absolutely, but we can do that for you. So when you go in, you'll see you'll be able to book sort of as a table. Thanks, Rob. I wonder what he was doing at the computer. Yeah, you can book as a table. So if you all want to be on a table, you can go in and sort of book 3 or 4 friends together on a table, and you know you'll all end up together. Or you can book a single ticket and trust us to put you on a table with a nice group of girls. And what can I say? We're all nice. We're all going to be nice girls. Right, I'm going to cut down my petals just so they're separate, but I can leave my leaves together because I haven't decided what colour my petals are going to be yet. So let's pop them there. Right, now back to colours. So this is the dusky pack. I'm thinking what I might do, if you order one of these this week, I'm going to pop in for you just a little smidge, I'll just pop it in the pack for you, a little smidge of yellow and a little smidge of, there's a beautiful black green batik out there, and I want you to have those for the little eye that's in the centre of the pansy. So I'll just pop them in the packs for you. That's no problem. Give me a few minutes too, because I actually don't know how many are in stock on the website. I might need to I might just ask Steve. Steve, while you're doing the ute, please add dusty batik packs. He'll do that. He did say he would pay attention. Yeah, who can see another pair of tables? This pair or this pair? I don't know. They'll be, I'll find them. They'll be here somewhere. That's okay. We're all good. So this is the pack I'm going to use for my cushion. But these gorgeous things came in as well, and I wanted to talk about these today, and I'm going to talk about them again on Tuesday because as you know, I don't usually buy pre-cut rolls, and even further than that, I don't usually buy pre-cut rolls of batiks. But Robert Kaufman brought out this set called Sonoma Vista, and I love it. Loved it so much. I maybe bought a heap. Well, not a heap. I bought 15. Can you see those? Aren't they just? I lay that there. So I can think of a thousand uses, and that's probably an exaggeration. 100 uses for these. I'm just going to put you over here for a minute. There's just so many different colours, and they are all dusty. They are all beautiful. Look at that, plum, purple. I said purple like Evie would say it, that I used to work under at Robert Kaufman. Purple. Look at that. So you go right through to this soft moss of white, green. Then you go to mustard, and then look into the, so, and then look at that rusty red. You can see I haven't really had a good play. I just love it. So these, of course, if you are into jelly rolls, beautiful, beautiful batik. If you wanted to know what we would suggest for a background to go with these, as I said, we've got 2 or 3 beautiful green, black, blue, black batiks at the moment. I haven't tagged them, but just email me and I can let you know what goes with them. These will work for the pansies as well. These would be absolutely gorgeous to break down. I mean, look. Just stunning to use for all the petals. And you could do those Mum always used to go, more than the purple, she'd go for the rusty red. So you go rusty red and purple, but she used to sort of go here, and then she would go into the yellows. I remember she always used to buy the red and yellow pansies because she wasn't so much a purple girl. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to pop that back up there for a minute. I can see all of those on this. They would all go beautifully on this particular linen for pansies or any type of applique that you wanted to do onto the fabric. And remember how we did play. I need to do another bit of this to go through that again, I think on Tuesday. We played with doing raw edge applique onto this gorgeous 7-berry linen weight cotton for bags and things. Remember that? We played with the applique. I want to put these onto here, into the leaves, and see how that comes up. So that, that's the start of some of that little bit of a play. All right, so I'm going to, let's move on and do this. Where did I just put these back? Let's just have a look here. I can probably I'll lose the light box because we're going to need the iron in a minute. And we will have a little bit of a looky look here. Iron up. I can hear Jimmy in the distance with the bell. Please don't adjust your set. That is the cat. So this again is where I'm loving these little irons. As you know, I went on for years without one. Hello, Ginny. Just what we need, your bell. Fantastic. I'm going to leave this here as a little bit of a guide. And then we want to have a look at our fabrics and pop them all together. So I'll grab down the green first. The show's called Pansies and Pockets, and for a good reason. I will show you the pocket thing is coming up, I promise. Hello James, how are you this afternoon? I've just seen your name pop up. There you go. Or are we all friends here, James? Then it should be Jimmy. Okay, let's iron that one on there. And then we'll cut around here. And then I can cut my leaves out. What on earth? I didn't use a Frixion pen. My pen has like literally vanished. Just going to trace around that again. Look at that. That is a very interesting phenomenon. I am working blind. Where's it gone? Alright, under around there, up around there, down around there, and back down there, with a bit on the end. Okay, we'll get these cut out. At least as a little bit of a look for you. So what I'm going to do this afternoon, I'm not going to pop them onto my linen yet. I really want to get my linen prepped for my cushion. I'm going to back it probably with a viling, just because it is an open weave, and you know, I'm investing in a fair whack of linen, so I really want it to last, and I'll give it a little bit more body. Not for 1 second am I going to assume that my cushion will not be sat on, squished, thrown on the floor while watching television, sat on by a furry friend. It will see some action. So I think it's important that we give it a bit of love and a little bit of oomph. Oh, it'll need a zip as well, won't it? So it'll need a closure at the back. So a couple of options. You right down there? A couple of options we can run with. I can do a zip on the back, but it might be really nice to do 3 self-covered buttons and a crossover closure on the back with the linen. So that might be the other option that we can look at. Now with with the petals, I'm going to save my purple. I'm going to use the purple for a little bit of the eye in the middle, or I might do some pink pansies and then do a purple and burgundy. I'll mix them all up. So I'll just chop a little bit of the dark and the light. I actually think this dark one is called Sonoma, which will be a bit of a coincidence, and the other one is Victoria. Those back up there. Get these ironed on. Oh, now I've got to choose. Okay, I'm going to go 3. Keep in mind as well that I can't believe the way that pen's disappearing. Robbie, you come back. Give it a 7-second delay. And he'll come back. I'll grab a pencil. Keep in mind that I've got 5 petals and I've only got 2 colours. So what that's going to mean is that in some point, one of my petals, is, can you grab me a pencil please, Del? That's a deja vu, Rob. I think we've done that before. 2 of my petals are going to overlap each other, but then what I'll do, I'm going to use a contrasting colour thread for my blanket stitch applique, and that will help break those 2 up. Or I can stick a purple one in, couldn't I? I could stick a purple one in. Hello, Kathy Lynch. Where'd you come from? Thank you. Robbie, oh, my pen's disappearing.
Your which?
My pen. I don't know why. It's not a friction. It shouldn't be. Okay. Control that. That is the appropriate look that I would like you to give me.
Which pen? Yeah.
This pen. it's just. Yeah, I know. All right, number 1. Have I put you to sleep yet? I hope not. I hope not. Jin's gone to sleep on the floor. Oh, soiree. Yes, get the pearls out, please. Us girls are all wearing our pearls, so I'd love you to wear your pearls. Get your pearls out. Dress it up. I'm not suggesting that there is a formal dress code, but it's, we've got to celebrate all getting together again. Diana, what did you say? I want to do a pillow back with envelope and ribbon. Oh, nice. That would be really nice. And we could overlap maybe in grommet or do buttonholes and do the... Clever girl. Clever girl. This is why we need a Costa Rican consultant at this end. Definitely. Just going to draw over that again. Okay, so while I'm just doing these pansies too, as I said, I will, to get the pansy pattern, $2.50, join a Quilter's Life, or if you're there, it's already there, or buy one of these guys today, or one of these packs, and I will pop it in for you. The other thing, if you grab one of these, I'm popping this one in for you. So this is one that I'm pretty sure, Quilter's Life girls, you've already got this. This is the big iris pattern that we did on a craft and cook show ages ago. Ginny, shush. And we're doing, she actually did, and we're doing it again with this applique. The one thing I want to show you, once I've got these cut out, is just about breaking down a design to suit the size of pieces that you have. Oh, speaking of small pieces, you funny lot. I just on a whim put together those fabric fun bags. I thought, oh, they'll sit around for a while, but it gets them out of the tub under the counter. All gone. You funny lot. I put them up on Facebook and Instagram, and they were just gone. So I will do some more. If you haven't seen them, have a look at the Facebook, Instagram page. So I did them up in a bag with the big, remember the big ribbon that we had at Christmas? I've used the ribbon and done them all up. So, gone. I thought it was very funny. Okay, so you like all our little bits and pieces, great. And that's the sort of thing that's good to have around for this sort of work. There's lots of fabrics in those bags. There's shadow plays and everything off our cutting table is in there. So I'll do some more. But sometimes you'll have a pattern that is too big for the pieces you have. For example, that jelly roll. So I'll just cut this one out and I'll show you. Number 4. And we are there. I don't know what else to tell you about the soiree. Just that we are so super, super excited. Margaret and I are doing a bit more work on it this week. Where's Karen? Oh, she's off to Tassie to teach for Helen Stubbings if you're in Tassie. She's heading down there, then she'll be back, and then she's doing Craft Alive Ballarat, and then she's back, and then she's going to France to teach, and then she's back. Some people, and then you get her. You get her for 1 or 2 days. How cool is that? It's pretty good. I'll just be going to Druin and back. I'm not going very far. Alright, what do I do first? Let's talk about... I've got all those bits cut out. I'm going to sit them over here. I'm loving this big set so that you can see the table and the back all at once. You can see all my sins, but it's a good thing. Alright, let's pop this here. Now, what I was just talking about, this is the size. So this, oh heavens. So nice, wouldn't it? That'd be really good. Might even want to shrink it a bit. Stick it on the photocopier or do the reduction thing when you print it out, before you print out. Reduce the size a bit down. Be lovely in a bag. Yeah, sorry, Lisa. On a bag panel. Okay. If you get a pattern this big, just get your arty, get your arty thought hat on and break it down. So these pieces in this gorgeous set, this is a 2.5 inch wide roll, fabric roll. Look at all the, boy. Yeah, definitely for irises too. Okay, so these pieces here are going to be too big. So you get your little ruler out and have a look. Obviously, not going to matter which direction you cut because they're beautiful tight batiks, so it's not going to matter. These here, these are all fine. So when I come through this guy here, even if I was needle turn appliquing, which my applique girls of course can do now, or pre-shaping with polyfuse, easily fits. That's only just under, that's 1 1/4 across, so that's going to fit fine. That's going to fit fine. Add a stretch, yeah, you'll even get the main throat out. It's only 2. Over here, this guy here, 2, so that, or just, maybe just, so we might play with that petal there, and this one definitely won't fit, is too wide. So when that happens to you, all you're going to do is just continue on what the designer of any design you're looking at or you're using has done. You're just going to break it down more. So when I look at this one here, I wouldn't put a break here. I'd bring another one down the side. So I might do that. See that? So all I'm doing is sort of just extending the whole look of the petal, and now I have 3 different sections to applique. And that means that I'll be able to cut all of them from the same fabric if I wanted to, or from 3 different fabrics or 2 different fabrics. Same with this one over on this side. I could just extend down that vein that's been put through here. Okay, so now I've got 2 sections that will easily fit. So you just have a little bit of a play. This big one here, I can actually use that vein detail and take it right down. And I could do, I don't have to, but I could do the same and have different sections come through. So just have a little bit of a play, okay? And this one here, I can put that in there, or I can have one go out. Actually, that's quite good. Do a little bit of a wiggle. Do a little bit of a wiggle and get different lines down. Now with these, if I come through and look at fabrics that perhaps are quite similar, so if I pull out, say, this red, which is a lovely dark one, or actually that's quite light. If I pull that one out with the pattern on it and use it for these sides, and then use the slightly darker one, like that. You see that okay? Okay, so use those in here. So they are still looking like they're the same leaf, but you're tonally building it up, and it's actually going to make it look quite 3D. And then of course this piece here you'll run with a really nice contrast. So for me, I'd be coming down and running a yellow across if I was doing red. So that's what you would do with this. Now with the long pieces that make up this design, all of these are long skinny pieces. They don't need to be on the bias. If you're doing raw edge applique or pre-shaping, you'll actually be able to run that right down the strip. And in fact, if you're doing raw edge, you'll be able to get 2, 3 at least stems out of the width of your fabric out of these. So you can, jelly rolls are not cheap. I'm not going to lie to you, they're not. And a lot of that's to do with, they don't look like there's a lot of fabric in them, but there's actually a massive fabric in them. And also it's the labour involved in having someone cut them and roll them and package them. All of that goes in. I have been 2 or 3 times. I went to the pre-cut room at Robert Kaufman, and it was the most, it was like a Willy Wonka chocolate factory. It was incredible to watch. But the main thing that I took away from that, just the way that the production line of stacking all the fabric up and cutting it all through and then sorting it, getting it all beautifully stacked up together, and then the rolling technique. It was wonderful to watch, but the thing I took away was the labour component. The labour component of it was just incredible. Hello, Louise. Oh, sorry, it's not Louise, it's Lois. Hello. How are you this afternoon? Hello, Jane. Nice to see you. You'd love some daffodils as well. Carol, we can probably organise daffodils for you. I know we've got Cosmos. We can organise that for you. The designs have been adapted from Manning Tree Garden. So my Manning Tree Garden pattern, I've been upscaling them. So I'm sure we can do that for you. These have got, you know what, I'm going to tell you what we called the guys in the cutting room, and it wasn't a racist comment. It actually was what they were. It was the most beautiful Mexican community that ran the cutting room at Robert Kaufman, and Jimmy ran it. So we used to call them Jimmy and the Mexicans because they sounded like a band. And they were the most talented, funny, gorgeous, energetic people. And I don't know where they came from, but my goodness me, they were amazing. You've got 40 pieces, 2.5 inches wide. So you've actually got, you've got 2 meters in there. Wow. That is actually really good value. It's the other way around. I'm impressed with that. Wow. Gorgeous. 2.8 yards. So you've got about 2.5 meters, and that's actually super value. I'm impressed. All right. How did I get them that cheap? I don't know. Maybe I did a deal. I don't know. I order these things so far ahead. I don't even remember. I would have ordered them 6 months ago, easily. It takes that long to do the whole thing. Anyway, a lot of pansies there and a lot of irises. So iris patterns on a quilter's life all going out with those packs. And the pansies are going out as well with those. Okay, let's go back and look at this. So I've got all my bits in a terrible mess here. And what I have to remember, of course, is that it's all in reverse. So I'm going to wing it. I'm absolutely going to wing it. And I'm going to wing it onto my little ironing board so we don't take up too much room, and onto my applique mat. So again, telling you how to suck eggs, but if you haven't used one of these before, you might want to, because they're brilliant. And Which Carol? Carol, you are a busy quilter. I have been looking for some more ideas for hand applique quilt I've been working on for... tiny violets. Oh my goodness. My pansy thing... Sorry, if you haven't seen a Teflon mat before, this is it. And I love them because... You know why, right? Because... you can make stickers before you actually put it onto your background. And when you're working with expensive, precious French linen, that's a good thing. I'm flipping this over because I think I've worked enough in reverse for today, don't you? And my pieces are now in reverse because I didn't reverse them first. So you are that one. Pansies are on my radar, and jolly jump ups and violets and all of that at the moment because my English garden fabric range is on the drawing board. That is why, and it has to happen because it's keeping me awake at night. Okay, this is my little guy that goes in here. Again, you know, if it doesn't come up exactly the same, it doesn't really matter. There's my other one here. Okay, you go up the top. This is so much better today. I moved the camera, the overhead camera, so that we can see. All right, you go there. Now I'm paying attention. See what I mean? That I've actually got a couple of bits that are going to be the same colour, but that's absolutely fine because when I come through, oh no, you go over the top and blanket stitch. You go, you nick in under there. Because I lost half my drawing, I've got a very different shaped pansy, but I really don't think it matters. Go up a bit, mate. Up you go. Botanical, it's botanical, guys. Everything is different. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to make sure they all overlap like that, and then my little ones that will come through and fit here over the top will fill in that gap in the middle. So as I said, I'm going to pop in for you just a little bit of yellow and a little bit of black in those packs. Okay, we all good? Oh heavens, no wonder it didn't look the same. I'm on a different pansy. Oh look at this. We're all good. Okay, I'm going to put this leaf down here. It's still the same pansy, interestingly enough. And then one up the top. As I said, you've got extra leaves. You can play around as much as you like. Now, this is just one pansy design. If you get on the internet and have a really good look around, there's heaps that you can pull off. Heaps and heaps of drawings for them. So this one will end up on a book cover. Just put this leaf here. And you can add some little leaves, you know, little stems and stuff. Okay, we're all happy. That's going to be fine. Get it in a bit closer so you can see it. I'm going to hit it with the iron. Okay, so this is now one big sticker. That doesn't look much like a pansy, but it will by the time I've actually finished messing with it. And just to show you what happens now is all the pieces have stuck together, but they haven't stuck to their Teflon applique mat. See that? So when I peel it off, it's all going to come off as one big sticker for me ready to stick onto my linen. I want to get it. I mean, I'll just stick it back on here again. It doesn't matter. That's the great thing about steamer. There you go. I've got my big sticker ready to go. So, yeah, I'll add my center in. Now, the other thing too, the pattern, the design has got little stamens, little lines in there. I'd encourage you to put those in, whether you're doing it by hand or machine. It's just going to add more movement and more dimension to the actual design rather than leaving it flat. Remember Em and I worked with, or Em worked with the monopoly last week. So if you wanted to run a raw edge with a minimalist look of stitching, then pop that monopoly in. Didn't tag it for today, but just put in monopoly. It'll come up. So it's the clear thread. And then that looks fantastic because you can't see it. And it'll work beautifully with the batiks, of course, because they're that beautiful tight weave and they're not going to fray. So that's one option. Or you can go the really lovely sort of chunky cottage look, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm actually going to blanket stitch this in black, because then when I pop it on here, it will bring up the black writing that's actually on the linen. So I'm going to do that for my book cover. And then for my pansies that are going to go on my cushion, I haven't really decided yet. They might be monopolyed, or if not, they're just going to be in colours that match the colours of the fabrics that I'm appliquing on. Or maybe just a little bit darker, particularly with the leaves, so I can put some veins on the leaves and things. So it's a little bit of a suck and see, but I will again get that done. Haven't finished. I know I promised last time I would finish off my bow clutch, and I haven't done that yet. I was off playing with other things for today, but I will do it. So that's that one. And then, as I said, with the irises, you know, you could raw edge that. They're big enough to needle turn or pre-shape with polyfuse. So you've got a couple of options with those. Which is something I just did a minute ago unconsciously, because Yvonne asked me, one of my Yvonnes asked me if I could get some more lampshades, and she's given me the size she wants, so I'm going to try it. I'm just with that, be really nice on a lampshade, wouldn't it? It'd be really, really cute. Or even to make a sleeve to go around a pot with the pansies in it would be really nice. But you can, look, it's just, I suppose, you know, we all have tools that we use for our sewing, but sometimes it's nice to have a design tool or a design library of things ready to go to use. So I'm hoping you can get some use out of that. I will find some daffodils for you, Mrs. Newton, no problemo. I know that we'll have some. And the other thing with the irises, if you do end up getting them, or you're on a quilter's life, do have a look at shrinking them down, because if you do shrink down that colour with the pink, these are also really good iris colours. So if you want to have a little bit of a play with these and something else in your stash, that dusky pack will make really nice ones as well. And there's no reason you have to, once you've got it, there's no reason you have to leave them that big. You can shrink them down. You don't even have to applique them. They were designed to use for stitcheries also. So please do. Now, I'm literally going to fold my pansy sticker in my applique mat. I'm going to pop these down here and come back to that. We'll move the ironing board for a minute. Speaking of irises, there's one more way to get that iris pattern off me, and that's to buy some iris fabric. Okay, so the ones I quickly showed you the other day, now all up on the website. Steve did a bit of a flurry and got them all there. Oh, and I'm so sorry about the zips. The zips are now up and set up the way that they are supposed to be. What was that, Karen? Ooh, lampshades. Well, I didn't know you all wanted more lampshades, but now I know you need more lampshades. I'm going to find out if we can get some more. They come out of the UK, so I've got to do a little bit of a wangle, but I'm sure we can. So these are now up. So speaking of irises, there you go. Just beautiful, isn't it? And it's called Peacock Garden. There's a lot more of Peacock Garden to come. I have been promised. So hold that thought. And then someone, who asked me? Was it you, Christine? Davis, or someone else? I can't remember. See? Irises. Someone asked me if they went with the blue Timeless Treasures Fleur pack. And I said, I don't know, I'll go and have a look. And then I went and had a look and saw that there actually were none left in stock. So there was a bit of a quick whiz around, a bit of a cut before the show. So I made sure I had some. But I think the answer is yes. So this is the Timeless Treasures Fleur pack. Yeah, it does. It does. So if you've got this pack, yes, this will go with it. Or if you're going to grab it and you need more coordinates, yes, all the way. That will all work together. Now, hold the phone. Wait a minute. Wait. I said the other day, I mentioned one of the boutiques that goes with the purple one. I'll show you in a minute. And I said I would have a look at other ones. So I went hunting. Sprout is the winner. So I've tagged it. This is Hoffman's 1895 boutique. If you need a green to go with your Timeless Blue pack and this fabric, this is the green boutique for you. So if you are going to use the Iris design and you're wondering what else you need in the way of greens or anything, this is the one to use for your foliage. Absolutely. So I'll pop the Iris in as well for you. So we do that with your irises from these guys. Heavens, that's good. Okay, then I thought, what else goes? Found another one. But this one is a woven. Aha! This is a 7-berry woven linen cotton blend out of Japan. So with this one, you'll see that I've also popped under today's specials, or well, not specials, features. Steve just used the word specials. I have popped the light blue, the dark blue, and the white sashiko thread. Because, bear with me, because this is the frustrated quilter that doesn't get to do everything that she wants to do. You take, now sashiko tote bag, Gorgeous Life Girls, you have this pattern. You've got a lot of stuff this month for your $10 membership. Some months you might go, what did I get this month? This month's stuff. Alright, so you take this style bag, you make it out of your Iris fabric, use the green for your panel here, and then you shrink down your irises and put your irises in sashiko on here. Get it? It's all a little jigsaw puzzle, and that gave me many happy thoughts. And the desire to make one and maybe put one away, put it all away for myself in the cupboard. So now I've tagged that. If you're not sure how much to order or anything, you haven't got the pattern yet, please send me an email and I'll just organise it for you. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to stop throwing that on the floor because I might need it again. So this is just beautiful, and you know, it's blue with the metallic gold. So that's why we've treated it very special, because all of the blues in the recent couple of years, including my Summer Palace, have come through with silver on. We've got more of those up. No, not that one, this one. So this is the purple one that came in as well. So if you love your irises in purple, I think Emma might get a book cover for her birthday this year. Thank you, Meg. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hello, Rhonda. Have to go. Granddaughter's second birthday party is starting. Nancy, you go, girl. Oh, come on, Jill. All right, fuchsias. Okay, you're going to have me do the whole garden. I'm sure I've got fuchsias as well somewhere. They're all sitting in the library ready to go. Not a room library, in my brain library in a folder. So the purple ones are also sitting on this divine royal, you know, that royal purple blue colour. And look at this. That came as well. So I'm sure there's more to come, but I'm not holding back. We got to go. That's just... You know what that colour reminds me of? Do you remember when we had Valley of the Kings? Is it Valley of the Kings? Yeah. It's those colours that Robert Kaufman used then. Yum. Beautiful. Alright. So, there you go. Now, with this one, if you are doing some applique, this is what you want. Remember I said Patty? This is Patty. It's more of a minty, jadey green colour. So that's the best one for applique with that. But hold the phone. If you don't want a lot of any particular green, I did have a little bit of a look through. The Light Applique Essential Pack is going to cover you for both the blue background and for this one. It's got Patty in. It's also got that gorgeous Wiltshire Shadow, Liberty, but all of these shades will work through both of them. So that, if you haven't got one of those, that's a good pack to have. And if you do, you've already got your right colours of green already in your stash to go. So I'll pop that back up there. They're yummy. They're yummy, yummy, yummy. What do I do with the purple? Oh. So I'm just going to pop these up because I need to sit at the sewing machine. Oi, oi. God, they're big. They're big, big, big. Alright, they're up there. Alright, put those up there. Girls on Quarters Life, I'm working on the pots, but I brought the ivy in. I'm working on it. There's more pots than I thought. More pots than I thought to play with. I'm tempted to go into Chandler's. Diana, I don't know, because I don't sleep because I run a Quilter's Life. So, you know, Quilter's Life's just, it's just there in the background. It's just happening in the background. Just simmers away. It's just nice to remember that we're all quilters at the same time, having a very interesting life. Very interesting life. We all have a little bit more in common than we think. Like not being able to find things. I can't find the handles for my felt basket. Which means I'm going to take the handles today out of my second felt basket because I want to. And then I'll find the other ones. I'm sure they'll pop up. I wanted to talk pockets, just completely changing topics. I want to talk pockets because, do you remember we started doing these last year and I said we're going to do lots of funky things and then we didn't. The year got a bit complicated towards the end and I let a few things drop. This is one of them. But this is what I have done. I'll turn around so you can see. I wanted to show you this little trick today. So I have put a pocket onto my felt basket. Now if you haven't seen, that looks crooked and it's not. It must be the way the camera's sitting. If you haven't seen these before, these are really cute felt baskets. I'll put it together in a tip for you. That I suggested we use to try out different techniques and kind of build up a little bit of a story around our baskets. So I've done my zip pocket on the outside. I have purposely left it open so I can pop a ruler, or if I'm a little person, a book or my little pack of tissues or something through there. But then what I did, I also, big cumbersome things, hang on, I'll turn it around. I put pockets on the inside. So I've got this little pocket on here. Now the trick is, you can't see the stitches on the outside of where I sewed the pocket on the inside, because the pocket on the inside is a smidge smaller than the one on the outside. So I'm going to run through and just show you how I did it. And these are up again. I managed to get some more because you know, they're just so much fun. This, the table's not going to be big enough. Okay, it's got this flat bit, and this feeds up. So there's no sewing to assemble your felt basket, and it lays out flat. So that's why it is the coolest thing to embellish. There you go. So you can, oh, you can't see. I'm so sorry. I've cut you off. so that you weave up through the slots and you end up with your handle loops on the outside, or you can do it the other way around and have your handle loops on the inside. So I can bring that up inside the two flaps and I can weave it out. So it's got two slots. All of it can be embellished, and in fact the wooden handles that come with it as well can be covered and glued with cord, with anything. And as you can see, they're durable because I'm really getting really rough with it now. I have 4 of these in use in my studio, unembellished, and they have been knocking around in there for quite a while, and they are still really, really good. So that's the 2 little loops at the top. It's just tactile, and you know, for the price that they are, I'm going to say this out loud, for the price that they are, Emma and I have contemplated more than once buying them just to cut up and use the felt to make for the bases on bags, other bags, because they're really good. We have one planned. I'll have to speak to her about that. I'm running out of floor space to dump stuff. Okay, so you've got 2 bits of wooden dowel that come with it that fit quite snugly through. Oi, 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 oi. There we go. Alright, so that is my handle. So as you can see, I could paint that. I could wrap cord around it. I could do anything. It is quite snug, so I probably don't want to go too thick with it. Or you could just use, you can make your own narrow ones and cover them. It's quite cool. I'm not going to put the others in because I want to lay it out flat to put this other pocket on to show you. There you go. So, they are thick, but you don't need a special needle. It's like sewing through our rubber foam batting. It's fantastic. If you have a felting unit, you're going to love these, because fleece and felting on these would be fantastic. Okay. This I didn't think through the fact that I haven't got much room. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, yes, I haven't done this from Tuesday yet. I've got to send my glasses case frame on. And I've got to go and pack more of them off. So for this particular little project, I'm using my pre-cut pack of collage, which we've got just a few left of. So this is the Fat Eighth pre-cut pack. These fun things that we were using the other day. So I'm actually using that. I've cut my one for the other side of my basket out of yellow, and then I'm going to have my glasses case and my bow clutch in orange, and then I'll still have the green and the red and the blue to use. So I'll probably do a book cover for a little notebook to keep in mind, so that when I go out it's all ready. Now the other ones I just wanted to mention in terms of pre-cuts that will work with this, if you want to follow these ideas that we're doing now, you could go Liberty, and because these have a white background, they look very nice and very contemporary on the dark grey. So that's one option. I've just had a look at my hair. It's definitely gardening woman hair. It's not looking pristine hair at all, because there was a lot happening outside before the show, and I've been baking. It's just one of those days. Okay, the other pack that would look really, really nice to play as a story on these. So that's one of our other little Liberty pre-cut packs. That's very similar to our giveaway today, isn't it? And then we've also got, on specials till I think we've got about 6 of these left. So these are the huge pack of Spotty Dotty Batiks. Oh, they would just be all fun all day long. If you were doing it for a little person, with a pencil case, with pockets on it, with notebook covers, if they wear glasses or something, you know, something else in there for them, note covered books, that would be lovely. A little drawstring bag, and they'd have a whole story. It could be their overnight basket. It could be their playing at their friend's place basket. It could be their basket they take to the library for their books. Could be for anything, you know, but it's something they're going to be able to hold and carry in with, and sort of carry with pride, and maybe have other things in there. So, you know, bind around the top rim of it, frills, you know, get a bit of it and gather it all up, and then sew it on with some binding. Just gorgeous. So they're just some of the ideas. Oh, self-destruction. Some of the ones that I think would look really nice. And then they're the little packs. And then, of course, if you want to keep it very classic, keep it super classic, you could go with the black deluxe pack and just keep it all really nice. You know, subtle and black and grey. All the Figos all day long are going to go. So there's that big pack of Fat Eights in all of the Figo colours. And don't forget, we've also got our bubble paisleys, and the bubble paisleys with all of the black background would also look awesome on these. Just to give you an idea of what you're going to go looking for in your stash for a bit of inspiration. What did you say, Miss Joan? Linen, what is the pattern repeat, please? I don't know. Oh, okay, I don't know. I know you don't need to get all of the writing with the projects. It would be nice to have them all in the pattern. Miss Joan, I will measure that for you right now with a ruler. Let me just grab one down here. It's 60 centimetre repeat, I think, Joni. Let me just get the big ruler and we'll double check it. Let me look for you. If I go from Belle Floriste to Belle Floriste, we are 60 centimetres or 24-inch repeat. Here you go, my darling. So it would be nice to have it all. It would be really nice, because then you know you've got all of it. But then see, it repeats across. So you've got here, it's the same design here. So you're going to get it once or twice across the repeat, so you can have some fun with it. That was a very good question, Joan. I'm glad you asked that question. Okay. So I am working in yellow this afternoon just to keep you all awake. Oh, look at this yellow I found. We've got new, there are new colours in Northcote Colourworks in as well. So I have cut from my 25 centimetre pre-cut pack in these. I have cut a 10-inch square and I have cut a 9-inch square. So you can see it's just a bit smaller. And I have cut out a piece of adhesive Vilene or stabiliser. That's an optional thing. You know, I just wanted mine a bit more sturdiness is what I'm trying to say. So I've cut out two 10-inch squares of that for my lining of my outer pocket and the actual pocket. And then for the one that I'm just doing inside, which is ultimately going to end up folded in half, I've cut one 9-inch. Now the lovely thing here is I don't need the ironing board because I'm sitting on a piece of felt. So I'll just iron these on. I think it's, you know, the whole idea with these baskets was to have something to cut our teeth on, to try out different techniques. So we've really got to get back to this. And in fact, this would be a great place to try out the twin needle sewing that Emma did as well. That's one. And then this one for my lining. I couldn't resist. What is this one called? I left it out. This is Northcote Colourworks Solid Colour 532 Sunflower. So if you search 532, it will bring it up. Oh, see what I've got to do there? Just got to be careful I don't get my iron on the glue on the edges. There we go. That's that one. So they're going together. Now I do forget, sorry, what the colour of this zip is, but if you go in, I've tagged the zips for today, all the 25 centimetre ones, and I did not, oh I did, look, let's just try that again, shall we? So I've tagged them all, just look for the bright orange one. It's going to be called something like Nectar or Halloween or Orange or something, isn't it? Okay, there we go. That was a bit better, Lise. So now this one's going to get folded and sewn, but see what I mean about the, I had to do it. I just had to do it because there's a lot of orange in the gerbers and things in this print. I could have been very boring and gone yellow, but no. Right, so this one is going to be the pocket that goes on the inside. So I'm going to sew this one first. I'm going to pop, I didn't know what to sew it in, so I went looking and found one that I thought was good in my stash that we've got in stock. How about this? Look at that. It actually changes colour through green, orange, red and yellow. So it is a drop dead perfect match for the fabric. So this is colour 906 in Kintut. So it's nice to start using it now because we're heading into autumn and we'll probably do a few autumn projects. If you've got any of those, that autumn coloured gradation fabric we've got that changes colour across the bolt, perfect for that. I might ask Robbie to come and put that blind up because it's starting to get noisy. There must be a little bit of a sea breeze starting to kick in locally, and we'll soon find out if he's still watching up the other end of the house. Right, I'm just going to pop some thread on here. Use a little cut. And give it a whiz. We won't need too much for what we're doing. He's listening. Can you just put that all the way up? I don't know if it mucks up my lighting or not though. What are you doing? Oh, you're checking that the girls can't see you. No, they can't see you. I've got the overhead on. I can change that any second though. Thank you. Alright, let's put our thread in. Oh yeah, that's okay. Keep going, you'll get there. Alright, so we'll pop this in. Thanks, Darren. Robbie, I haven't got the... I don't know if that was really worth it or not, Duh. He's nimble, I'll give him that much. He's very nimble. Okay, let's talk feet. We've got to use a couple of different ones, don't we, this afternoon? So the first one is, we are literally just doing a straight stitch, and I could use a 37, but honestly, we're making it up as we go. So we shall pop on a number one. As long as I keep that seam allowance straight. Oh, heavens, by the way, it's Bye Bye Bonina week next week. If you need anything and you want to grab it through me with your other orders, you need to email me pronto. I'm out. I am having a lovely morning, Monday morning, visiting a very, very, very special person who is upgrading her sewing machine. And I'm not going to tell you who it is, but if you watched the Australian Textile Exhibition in September that we did online, and if you remember the amazing applique quilts, that's right. Somebody needs to update their sewing machine before, well, she's just decided she won a prize and she would like to spend the money updating hers. Well, she's not actually updating, she's just getting a second one. Oh, didn't shut the front door. Now that someone is on a 9mm throat, Benina, and because of all the fine applique, you go back and have a look now, you know what I'm talking about, because of all the fine applique she does, she's realised she would be better on a narrower feed dog. So on a 5.5mm feed dog machine, she manages, as you well know, very, very well. But her machine is getting on, and it has seen truckloads of work. And she's, you know, she's not a normal sewer by any stretch of the imagination. And that machine has done millions and millions and millions of stitches. What I'm doing, so yeah, she's going to get one of these. So that is my last machine hurrah, unless one of you tells me different and I'm running around somewhere else next week demonstrating machines. I'm going to press this seam open. And this seam is actually going to get a little nick and opened up. But the reason that I have sewn it right across is that little trick that Emma showed us that, you know, we all make out we forgot to leave the seam open, and then we make out that we did it on purpose. We actually have this time because it's going to help me get the press exactly on that seam nice and accurate, and then I'll just unpick a little bit of it to turn it through. I'm popping my applique mat over this because I want to press it flat, and because I've got the Vilene on the back, it's going to stick to the iron. So I've just pulled it out with the pansy on it. And I'll just use this over the top again so that I don't get it all, my iron all sticky. There we go. So now I've got that nice flat seam. And we'll go back to the machine and sew the ends. So what I've done is I've positioned that flat seam in the middle so that it will be well and truly concealed. Wish I could go down even further, but that'll be fine. It's concealed in this internal little add-on pocket, which is just a little, really, just a little bagged out rectangle. Now my machine sounds a little bit clunky this afternoon, a little bit noisy. It's perfectly fine, but I should probably oil it. You do need to oil your machines. I'm not about to embark on free motion quilting a 2-metre quilt with you this afternoon, so I will carry on, but I will give it a good oil and a clean before I sew tomorrow. So super important. In fact, Wendy G texted me yesterday and said, quick, if you're getting out, I need bobbins and I need oil. And that was just 2 of the things that she went, no, I want to get those from Lisa quick. So did Emma. Emma said bobbins, and I think Em's at home studying her big book of feet as well. And then once I'm, I'll always be a dealer, a wheeler and dealer, Benina person, but once I'm not selling machines and accessories anymore, I'm going to be sending you to Deb at Baxter, just to give her a call and order anything that you want. Okay, just open it up just a little bit so that you can turn it through. Again, what did I do today? My forceps are out here. When in doubt, blame the cat. That's what I say. All right, let's flip these corners just a little bit so that just so it sits nice and flat and fresh. The other things that you can add onto your basket, you know, if you've got, what have you made? You made a heap of Suffolk puffs and you've never used them. You've got a heap of beautiful buttons that no one ever is going to use, and they're just sitting in the cupboard. If you have a brooch collection, if you have a pin collection from all of the quilt shows that you've been to or something else, if you have a scout or a girl guide with a mountain of badges, this would also be a great medium to add them onto. And then this box could sit in the corner in their room with their scout or their girl guide gear. I've been there and I've done that. And it just seems to hang, doesn't it? It just kind of just hangs. Okay, I'll just push those out. Now, see what I mean? See how beautifully that opening is because we ironed it before and then unpicked it. It's going to sit really nice and flat at the back. I want you to slip stitch that closed for me. I'm not going to do that with mine right now because I want to get this done and show you, but slip stitch it for me. There we go. Done. Now, to put this on what will be the inside of your basket, first of all, the way that you'll tell what's the inside and the outside, and again, it's just not that critical really, is that your little loops are one-sided. So this is the right side, so I need to put this on the other side. One little item for what, that little thing we call the chewy checkout is if you've got someone that likes a bit of bling and a bit of tassel, you might want to grab one of our little packs of tassels with the clips because they'd be really cute to put through here as well. Right, so we'll flip this over to the back. Ginny, be quiet. Heavens. Okay, so this is going to go on here. Now, what I did with my other one, Gin, Robbie, can you come and get the pussycat, please? I sat mine down the thickness of my Creative Grids ruler. So it's 1.5 down from the top, and then when I make my other one, it's going to sit up just that little bit higher because it's slightly bigger. So then I also made sure that it was centered between the slits on either side, so they're what go around the corner. So this worked out to 4 and 4.5. So we're about 4 1/4, and then I'll check up this end. So I just had a little bit of a play. There we go. She's gone quiet now you're here. You realise there's just no way you're going to get out by doing it that way. Well, you are. Yep. It's noisy enough in here, Jen. Okay. Just going to pop a pin through to hold that in place. Now, what you can do with this, a couple of options. You can do what I did on the outside of the bag, perhaps. I think that's straight. And just do top and bottom. So don't even use it as a pocket. Just top and bottom. And then they can slide something through. What I've done is I've actually sewn it on the 3 sides with a partition in the middle. And because of the way that because this is so stiff, the way that I did mine was a little bit different. I sewed down, 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 and then across, rather than trying to pivot around the corners. Because there's no give in this felt, it is feasible to do. And I did it with the pink one. Stay. We need to put a walking foot on. If you have a dual feed machine, you do not need a walking foot with this, because your dual feed will pull everything through. You're most welcome, Joan. But if you don't, stick your walking foot on. And that was the conversation I was having with Eileen, and in that I always say I'm a bit naughty. I do bait people. I say, but you love your dual feed, and they go, yes. And I go, but you only need dual feed because you have got 9mm wide feed dogs. If you have narrow ones like this one, you don't. And the dual feed, the wider feed dogs, the wider your stitch. So if you're doing big decorative stitches, you love all of that heirloom decorative stitch stuff, then yeah, of course you're going to want the wide feed dogs. But if you're doing really, really fine work like, well, you know who it is now, Miss Eileen, you don't. You actually are quite fine with 5.5. You're not going to use them. And this is it with the new, with the 720, which is now the 735, which is the same but with a bigger screen. Actually rang Benina to organise a couple of things yesterday. I'm just being careful that I don't knock cameras and all sorts of stuff around me. What's it doing? Oh yes, organising the 4 machines to take down to Wonthaggi High School because they're a Benina school. So I'm going down to Wonthaggi. I'll go and visit my mate at the fabric and wool shop, all of that. But having a little bit of a chat, and I said, oh, I might need a 735 on Monday. And Linda goes, oh, good, because yes, of course, because they're on special. I was like, oh, they are? I didn't even know. That was a bit naughty, wasn't it? I've switched off already. Okay, I'm set up. I'm going to put my machine, I'm going to tell my machine that I am sewing through thick stuff. And that way it will adjust my tension accordingly. Thank you. It's put my stitch length, it's actually put my stitch length up to 3, and it has put my tension up as well, and my foot pressure up. God, I love this machine. You're going to find it's really weird. When I'm not a dealer anymore, you're going to get a lot more Benina stuff from me. And I know that sounds really weird, but once I'm not in dealer mode, I'm glad you can't see my face. Once I'm not in dealer mode, I go back into artistic Benina mode. And that means I'll sew more without thinking about how it impacts on selling the machines or anything. So I'm looking forward to sort of not losing the constraints, the responsibility of being a dealer. I am looking forward to spending a lot more time with my Benina girls, but as fellow Benina owners, and helping everyone out. And of course I'm always going to look after you and your warranties and your questions and all that stuff. But I'll get to know my machines better if I'm just using them as a Benina owner. Hope that makes sense. What do we do here? The other one I did 3 separate ones. I think I might do a narrow one, because if I've got a little pencil or a pen or crochet hook or a tailor's awl or something, or a little pair of scissors, I don't know, I'm going to do a narrow one. I just feel I'm going to use it. So I'll go up again. Now you can see I've got minimal pins and things in here, and there's just no give because I've got that violin stabilising the pocket and the felt doesn't move. And you can see how easily it is sewing through the felt. It's fantastic. And that's what people always worry about. I'll go across here now. With the soft and stable, with the rubber foam batting, that it's going to be really hard to sew through, but it's not. It's just like this. It's like butter. What happened there? I think I went over the same. I don't know what happened then. Let's just pop my thread back in. What did you do? Well, the operator error always is. Okay, there we go. Just check my thread underneath. Surely I'm going to be knocking stuff off the counter. Oh, hang on. Did I have enough thread on my bobbin? Yes, I did. I think I pushed the wrong button talking. All right, here we go. And I've got one to go across here. With opening up of venues and everything now too, you know, I'm quite sure we will be able to organise some workshops with Beninas, which will be really funny because I won't be a dealer anymore, but we'll be doing Benina workshops. But we will be able to do that. This hall at Garfield's awesome. And that would be a great venue as well. When you, that's what I should say to you. When you get your machine service next time, if you go to Tim to get it done particularly, ask him to tag your machine cord. So that means he is going to double check your machine cord and that it's all safe and hunky-dory. And he will put a little tag on it so that when you take your machine to a workshop, it's been checked. And that gets done, you get it done about every 12 months. So get it done when you get your machine done. Because what happens sometimes with hauls and everything. Good afternoon, Cindy. Good to see you. Peter! Pete, how are you? Margaret Upson's down your way this weekend. I wonder why, with her hubby. No, that's next weekend, isn't it? The race. Yeah, a lot of halls are going to still have the requirement that your machine's being tagged. So it's much more economical for you and peace of mind to get that done while you're getting your machine serviced. And Tim's got a tagging certificate and all the gear to do that for you. Right, that's my little, here's my little pocky that's on. Isn't that fun? So bright on the dark grey. Peter, I've been looking, sorry everyone. Peter, I've been looking at your quilt challenge. Holy moly, are they all your quilts? I'm confused now if they are, but I'm guessing they are. Heavens, mate, you've been prolific. And they're all just beautiful. Alright, so this is the, I don't get out much, I don't talk to people much, I just talk to you all on Facebook. See, that is the front now, and I've got my lines from my pocket. Oh, I haven't been across the bottom. Hang on, I've got to go back. I've got to go back. Just chat amongst yourselves for a minute. I didn't go across the bottom of the pocket. So I shall do that. Yes, get your machine tagged. Not so much, it won't matter if you're going into a patchwork shop, but a lot of the halls do require, particularly the council run ones, where you can have your machine checked and tagged. So Timmy can do that for you. There you go. I could sew through this, despite handling it, I could sew through it all day. It's really nice. So now we need to do our zipper one. And I've got my yellow lining and my yellow outside ready, and I'm going to pop in my zip. So we're going to create that tube, or that cylindrical tube. You can walk away and put the washing on if you've done this before, or bring it in, or water the garden, or whatever you need to do. But for those that haven't seen it done, I want to do it. So this goes on here. So the right side of the zip, now am I happy? Yes. The right side of the zip is going to go to the right side of my outer pocket, and then we're going to sandwich them together sandwich the zip with the lining on the other side. Now, as I said, I've tagged all of our dress zips. Dress zips are super cheap and cool to use, but if you want to get a little bit more chunky and make your zip even more of a feature, please have a look at our cool zips that we now sell by the metre length, and then now you actually go off, poor sharing case, and now you actually now go off and buy your pull separately, so you can mix and match together. And just as another example, what if I was to use this for my pockets and my features with my felt basket? I could use the black and gold zip, or I could use the red. And how amazing would that look? That would look really, really nice. So there are lots of different ones to choose from, and you can mess around and mix and match your zips up, or you can buy a dress zip. So I've started pinning this together. I'm going to stop here because when I get to here, I'm going to pull the zip pull up out of the way to sew the rest of it down. So let's go to the machine and we'll get this going. Now, so we need to take off our walking foot and pop up on a zip foot. There we go. Now I'm immediately going to tell my machine that I have put on a zip foot, because what that will mean is that he now will not let me sew unless I move my needle position right over, and if I forget to do that whole change around when I change feet again, it will let me know so I don't break a needle, like I did when talking to Tim the other day. on the phone. Most embarrassing when you're talking to your servicemen and you break a needle doing something silly. Sometimes with zips you need to give your machine just that little bit of a push on because it's got less grip on your teeth because you've got a narrow foot. So the other side of my teeth, I am so sorry guys, you're on the wrong camera. There you go. The wrong side of on the other side over here, I don't have the fabric covering the teeth over on this side. So sometimes you need a little bit of a push. The other little trick you can do, if you don't have dual feet or whatever, but if you can change the foot pressure on your machine, increase it just a little bit, and then it will just help that zipper foot grab the fabric better as it pulls it along. You've got a lot of things going on here as well, so don't be too rough on yourself. If you get a little bit of movement or a little bit of puckering of the interfacing, or if you end up with your lining piece that's on top a little bit longer drifting out, I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. And you've got multiple layers going on here with interfacing. So, okay, so we're going to stop here, needle down, pop my foot up, and then up, and then ever so carefully just sneak under here and pull that zipper back out of the way. Line them all up together again. You would never know I had a zip phobia. You all know I had a zip phobia till about 3 months ago, don't you? Yeah. Okay, and then just finish that off down here. Probably should have pinned that. She's moved a little bit, but we're working on the fly. Okay, so that's in, and our zip's in on this side. Ta-da! Done. Okay, back to the iron. I want to give this just a little press. See how much that's drifted out? If I had pinned it well and heavily, that would not have happened. So give this a little press. This pocket is going to see a lot of action. Either if it's yours and you're giving it to someone that's going to use it a lot, or you are. So I'm going to press that now, like that, and then I'm going to head back to the machine with the right camera this time. There we go. Now, this time, because of the way I want to set up my zipper foot and not change feet, I'm actually going to move my needle position right over to the right. Just sit that thread out of the way. And I can get up really nice and close without having to worry about the zipper this time. There we go. Switch through there. This is a really important thing to do, to stop and do. Make yourself do it. Otherwise, what can happen as the pocket gets open and closed a lot, the lining can come up and get caught in the zip. So this just guarantees you're not going to have that happen. How many of us have had shirts or jackets or whatever that's happened with, or coats, and often that's why. All right, done. Now we want to pop down the other side now. And I'm conscious you all need to go off and put the slow cooker on soon for something yummy for dinner, so I'm going to get faster and faster. What we're going to do now is bring up the bottom, or the other side of what's going to be our pocket. Okay, I'll bring this over here so you can see it a bit better. A bit in the dark over there. So that is essentially the bottom half of our pocket. We need the bit that comes up over the top for the top half. So I fold up, I'll just put a wonder clip in there for a minute, fold up there we go, we're going to fold up the front of the pocket, and then we're going to fold up the lining going to that side. So it's doing exactly the same thing, but with the other side of the zip. Now it's really, really important at this point that that zip stays open all the way through now, or honestly we're not going to have anything to turn the pocket through when it's all together. Wonder clips are fantastic, but when I did the pink one, I did find, because it's not a super thick thing that I'm putting all together here, they did slip a little bit, which I was surprised at. The smaller ones, have I got any of the smaller ones? These ones were better for thinner things. So these little ones that come in the little blue, and they've got a firmer grip. So these bigger ones here, they're great when you've got your palette and your batting and everything in there as well. But if you're doing thinner things, the little ones are a little bit tighter. Okay, that's all there. So we'll nip back over here. So what are we all doing tonight? Are we all heading out? Are we all hanging home? I don't know what we're having tonight. Oh, yes. We're down to the last few zucchinis, heaven forbid, from the garden. So we've made the relish, we've done that, we've made the frittatas and frozen, and we've done all of that. So I think we're doing chicken in white wine with the zucchinis tonight. Oh, look, see, it wouldn't have let me sew. Oh, I didn't have it over far enough. There we go. Down we go. Okay. We'll whiz down here. Now in here, right, I have to stop. I have to raise my foot. I have to get my hand in here and pull my zip up out of the way. And off we go again. Go through phases with cooking, don't you? Where you just, you get all enthusiastic and you get all the rest of your books out, and then you go through a phase where you just can't be bothered. It's really hard. And for those moments when you can't be bothered, that is when what's in the freezer comes into play, I think. Radio. Now, we need to get all this happening. I've got to turn it through first and show you what we're doing. Got to get it all turned through the opening in the zip. Like that. Look at that. See? How funky is that going to be? Now, again, remember what I said about that top stitching. So, it's a bit harder with the second bit because you've got the zip pull well and truly established at one end. However, I have found the solution, which is basically to wing it. And because I know I'm going to chop a bit of each side of the pocket off, I can get in nice and close. Stay there. I can get in nice and close. Oh, see how that here, you've got to be careful, don't you? That was sticking up a little bit. Do remember, please do remember that you're working with plastic teeth on your dress zip, so don't get too heavy-handed with the iron. So I've got that quite nice and flat now. I can top stitch this, but you can see what I mean. I can't get further than there. As far up as I can, I will get my needle in up here and top stitch down, but I can't do that bit really of top stitching because the loop's already formed here. It's probably achievable, but it will require some expletive words that I shouldn't use on Facebook, so I'm not going to. Right, so I'll come back in. I'm going to run from the open end. So again, what I did the first time, move my needle now right across to the right hand side. We'll just see how far I can get. because even if I start to pull that zip up, it's going to form the cylinder and it's not really going to help me at all. So I'm going to, I'll stop here. No, all right, I've got to go down. I'll go as far as I can. Oh, that's it. Now the first thing I'm going to do is pull that zip in, because I'm so paranoid I'm going to chop my zip off. Okay, so that's done. What is it with me and the bright colours at the moment? I'm blaming this collage fabric. That's what happened. So now I'm going to have a look at this and work out where I want my zip to sit. If you are turning this into just a pencil case now, it may sit right up here on the edge. But I want it just to sit down from the top. So to keep it all nice and where I want it, I'm going to iron it now, that way. Good night, Diana. You have a wonderful sleep. Okay, so that's going to be our little zip pocket. So I'm going to turn it now back inside out and just sew these up. If you really want a nice finish to the inside seams on a pocket like this, you can bind them, or on this I would just zigzag it. If you've got a 2A on a banana, the overlocker stitch, you could use that. You could pop it on your overlocker, just zigzag it with your number 20 foot on, something like that, so that it just keeps it nice, but it's inside on something that's going to get really trashed with me, so I'm not too concerned about it. So that's the way that's going to look for me. Now I want to show you one little fun thing before I mess with it. Have you seen the little bags on on Facebook or Instagram, and they do this fun thing? They go, hang on, you have your base that way, like that, and then you sew this bit at the top that way, and you end up sort of with a funky little stand-up cylinder pencil case. You can also put in darts, you know, like when we do darts on the bottom of bags and things, so you can have your zip further over towards the middle and cut here and create little darts, and then you'll end up with a little square base, and so your bag will sit up that way, and then you can actually run your zip on an angle across that way. Have a little bit of a play around. They're out there. Where was I? Right, where that fold is, I'm just going to pop a little mark, just in case when I turn it back the other way, I lose that crease line. And I must leave this open, as I said, because I've got to be able to turn it through this when I'm finished. So we'll go back. Check out that lining. You could have one of those other, you could have a little pocket like the one we did on the inside, a pocket inside a pocket with these, you know, you could have a little one on there. I'll be quiet now, we'll just, Lisa, just get this one done. Okay, so that inward crease there is actually the top of my purse. So I need to just mess around here a little bit, get that all nice and tight, and sew down here. So I'm going to come in a little bit, because, you know, a little bit of my seams and stuff are a little bit uneven on the ends, and we can make all of that go away. Dina, I've also got to think about the fact that I'm about to dig up, I'm hoping, a good 10 kilos of potatoes. Oh heavens, Pete, I've just had a craving for duck fat potatoes. Whose fault's that? Alright, we'll do this end first, and then we'll do this one. So that's going to fold up like that. Where's my crease line? That's there. That's there. There's lots of little layers and things going on in there, isn't there? I used the clips down the other end, but I'm going to stick my pins in this end just because. One little hack, probably did not stick down that interfacing well enough. It's just causing me a little bit of grief. It's lifting inside, that's just making it a bit hard to get everything flat. So if you do decide to use interfacing, please just keep that in mind. You saw what I did with one side of it. I stuck it down the wrong way by mistake, and that I should have just cut another piece, and I just kept going because I was chatting with you. So just, I can feel that now, it's pretty good, but just make sure it's stuck down really well. And I'll make a mental note to get us another light in here. I think it's because we've got the curtain up. But, oh heavens, we don't want a zip foot. We want a walking foot. I'll just stick the walking foot on because it's here and we're going through a few layers. On a banana it would have been fine without it. Okay, let's do that. And we have a number 50 on now. I haven't named this banana yet. But you know what's really weird, is that all of my bananas up till now have been men, but I think this one is a girl. How strange is that? Okay, I'm going to come in a fair way on this end. Let's go back. Just go back and we'll revise this pocket that we've already put on, because we need to make sure that the outer pocket is wider than the inner pocket so it covers up the stitching. So this one is 8 inches. So this needs to be at least 8.5, 9, so I'll bring it out to about, yeah, that's fine, absolutely fine. We'll whiz down here. You can, once you've grasped what I'm attempting to do, you'll be able to go back, watch again and go, oh okay, Lisa, I'm actually going to make mine a lot wider than that so I can trim back further. Or you can do a little pleated pocket on the front. You can do anything you like. So that's that end. We'll whiz around and do the other one, and then you patient people, we are nearly done. All I can hope is that you have got a heap of sewing done this afternoon with me prattling on in the background. How nice, I'm just thinking, how nice would those batiks look on that felt basket too? They would look so good, and you, instead of using a fabric, you could sort of sew strips of them all together to create a fabric to do your pockets and things from. And applique the leaves. Oh, very nice. Just carefully going over the end of that zip. If you have an older machine that doesn't have a really strong needle shaft, always just remember to stop and hand turn your wheel as you go over your teeth, just to help it over and so that it doesn't snap the needle or throw the timing out on your machine. Just, you know, with the older ones, so sometimes you just need a little bit more love. Okay. Right, we're up to the fun bit. So I'm going to trim off, well, it's all been fun, but off to the big bit at the end. Trim off that excess. I probably won't trim down the corners of the pocket on the outside. It's going to see a lot of love again, so I don't think I will. Right, so now, remember, I left that open so I can turn it through. Yeah, I can get a sharp enough point on there. I have ordered those beautiful Clover Taylor's awls that we talked about. I'm just waiting to get them because they'll come at the same time as replacement stock of the Creative Grids Roundup tools, because we sold all of those and we are yet to do the Orange Pure Quilt. So we've got to wait, just wait. Speaking of waiting, where's my lemur? I don't know where my lemur's gone. Somewhere. I can see him. Hang on, I've got to get him. So you were absolutely all sensational and wonderful about the Epilepsy Foundation lemur, to the point where we sold out the stock we had here and we wiped out our local Epilepsy Foundation opportunity shop. So if your order hasn't left yet, Cindy, you were here with your 2 orders, and there's a few more. What, I don't understand what Maria is asking. I'll have to do it. So we've got, you know, Cindy's order and a few others here that are waiting for more lemurs, and they're coming from Epilepsy Foundation HQ in Malvern. They're coming down to us Monday or Tuesday. The regional manager's actually dropping them off for us. Ooh. So I'm so sorry, but we are waiting for the lemurs. Your orders are all here, but I hope you understand we're waiting for the lemurs to arrive, because otherwise it will cost us a lot. I'm going to be honest, more than the cost of the lemur to post, or the same as the cost of lemur to post them out to you. So we're waiting for more lemurs. But thank you so much. We are in the good books with the Epilepsy Foundation, I can tell you right now. So yes, orders for those, and then the roundup tools and the tailor's awls are coming. Who would have known that purple lemurs are a popular thing? We had one lady order 3, and I thought that was just lovely. And 3 grandchildren, 3 lemurs, $30, made in the shade, sitting in the cupboard, ready for Easter, to go with Easter eggs. How cool is that? Ta-da! There is my zipper purse. So this is actually going to go here. See that? And then it conceals the stitches from the inside pocket. I'm just going to push that corner out a bit more. Hang on, although just use my forceps. Out there. There we go. Now I have done a square purse. Of course, you could do anything. You know me, I would get a plate and I would round it off, do something different, whatever you want to do. Do a hexagon shaped one, whatever you want to do. Alright. Actually, we have new fabric out there with hexagons for bees in grey and yellow. I'll show it to you on Tuesday. So happy with that. That's going to hide my stitches there and there. I think we can lose the iron now. Let me just put this up here, so I'll move it over there so I don't burn myself. And we will unplug it as well. Okay, so we're going to put that on. And then it will just have a row of stitching top and back. So the important thing is you've got to make sure when you do this that the top of this pocket is well above your little pocket on the back, or otherwise you're going to end up sewing down the top of your inside pocket. And you saw what I did before. What a little hack, hey? A little bit of a cheat thing. I used my little Creative Grids ruler to line up the top rim of the felt basket with the top rim of my pocket to make sure it was parallel with the top. Marie, I don't know when I said I'll see you Sunday. Maybe I was talking about my girls on a quilter's life. That may have been it, because I will, I don't remember now, but I will definitely be doing things on a quilter's life tomorrow, and Applique Sampler Girls I usually do on a Sunday as well. So it may have been one of those things. I don't know. I may have said the wrong thing. But tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow, Steve and I are working on the Textile Pantry website. which is my alter ego. That's my wholesale business. So we're relaunching we're launching a new website for that, so that we, as well as looking after you, we then send my fabrics out to other shops around Australia. Diane, that's gone to bed in Costa Rica, Maria in Spain, Rosemary in Dusseldorf, Natasha in the UK, and around here. So that's been sorely neglected and inactive during COVID. So that's what we're working on tomorrow. So it's sort of everything that we do with you, but it's different. We don't sell by the meter, we sell by the bolt. And there are all different sorts of things that we do and products that we sell in different ways. So yes, that's tomorrow. And yeah, it would have been Quilters Life Girls and recipes and things tomorrow, I think. All right, this is super thick now, so you will need a walking foot for this, I think, because you've got all these layers at the top and bottom of the pocket, and it's sort of folded and it's sitting nice, so you really want it to come up nice. So make sure you've got a good grip with your foot. Now I'm actually running the edge of my walking foot along the edge of my folded fabric, and that sits there very nicely, almost like a ledge. Okay, I'm going to do a little finishing stitch. I had to get on here yesterday. You know, it's like when someone's been driving your car, and I came through here, I was like, what on earth? And of course, Em was on here, wasn't she? And she turned off, because she worked Tuesday. I saw you Wednesday. She worked Tuesday and she was madly sewing, and she changed my, well, we customise our machines, but she changed my finishing stitch, my starting stitch to suit her. It's like changing radio stations and the seat position and the rear vision mirror. So now I'm running the fold on the top of the pocket down the right hand edge of the foot. And slide that pin out. Come down here. Do a really good finishing stitch here, because, you know, again, there'll be a fair bit of work done that might show resistance against these. So a good reverse stitch and or a good finishing stitch, and there, my friends, we have a pocket. So I'll just trim off. Now, as I said, this is quite chunky because I chose to put 2 lots of interfacing in. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can just run it with the fabric. And in fact, if you decided to do them with the with something like this, it's got a lot more weight with it, you probably only want 1 layer, if that, because this is the cotton drill, remember, it's a little bit thicker. Great for bags and pockets and things like this. So there I've got my little yellow one with my orange zip with my super duper sunshine yellow lining, and then on the other side I've just got this one. They are just simple little pockets, but the trick is to put on your inside one first and make sure it's a little bit smaller. And so all I've got showing on the back is this one line across here, and lucky me, I did manage to do it. Look, I've lined up my bottom of my front pocket with this one on the back. Now, I tried to do that on purpose on the pink side and I didn't quite pull it off. This time I didn't even bother, and I did, so that's just hilarious. But that sits right on that same line, so, and I'm sure you'd be able to do that. So I've got these here, and I've got room to put a pen or something in, and then on this side I've got that one. So let's just pop these in. So we'll bring our sides up and fold these over. So I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday with Miss Emma. Here we go. This one here. Right. So that one's that side. And you know what, if just look at the pop of colour that you get. You can see I've actually got my pockets up towards the top, but if you wanted to, you could have much deeper, longer ones. It was just so easy for me to fold the width of the 25 centimetre cuts of the collage fabric pre-cut pack in half, so that, you know, that 25 centimetres actually determined the depth. But there is absolutely no reason why you couldn't use a 10-inch square and then just make it longer by putting another fabric on the back of it that you're not going to see because it's round underneath in here. So you could make it bigger, deeper, whatever you want to do. Did I just do those both? Oh no, I haven't finished. There you go. So that is those baskets. As I said, please have a look at them. They're really, really good value. And as I said, they're just a fantastic weight felt with a little pop of colour inside. So I've got my yellow and my pink. They're a great, you know, medium to use for lots of different things. With the rest of my pack, I've still got all these colours and things to use. So my orange, as you know, is my glasses case and my bow clutch. But I've got a little bit of it left. And then I've got the green. I'm definitely going to do a book cover with the red. Then with the blue and the green, I can actually come through and put little zip pockets on these bits of the flaps on the side. Or I could make myself a really nice folder to go inside for my laptop or my iPad. So this is one that we did. Do you remember this one? We did this earlier on when we spent a day with them. We were doing zips and things when they first came in and the bubble print came in. So this is a larger version of these pockets on the outside that we have done as a complete bag. So when you open this one up, it still has those raw edges on the inside that we have not got round to zigzagging off yet. And also what we did with this one, just in that seam before we sewed down each side, we popped in a little tab so that we had something to hold on to. So I think it would be really great in this blue to make one of these that just, if I fold that over, I take my laptop everywhere in this, fold that over a bit shorter so it fits my iPad or a book. That will go in there in the blue. I can make another one or a purse or a pencil case in the green, and all of that together is going to give me this lovely multicolored, really, really functional basket to use. If you're going to use it for knitting as well, you might like to make your needle roll to go in. If you like the idea of having a knitting roll with your needles sitting up, then do those deeper pockets, and like I did today, do nice and narrow divisions in them so you can sit your knitting needles and your crochet hooks in them, and then pop all of your wool in your basket. So that's it for today. All I wanted to get out of the day was to, who had a wet afternoon? Oh yeah, Cara, it's wet with you, isn't it? Is to keep you awake tonight. That is always my intention, that you get a bad night's sleep after watching the show, because I want you to get inspired, stay awake at night thinking of all the wonderful things that you could be sewing tomorrow on Sunday or next week, or plan over winter and get yourself a notebook and start writing down all the ideas of the things that you want to do. And as I said, you know, the girls in a quilter's life, you all know about that, don't you? You do. You do. Hang on, I'll do it. There you go. Quilter's life. I've been hustling them this week because it is used by month. So I've got them running around cleaning out everything in their house to streamline everything else and have everything else tidy and organised, so that the only chaotic room where the imagination runs free is in the sewing room. So if you're in, please go and have a look at those. But otherwise, thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. I hope that you have a fabulous evening, and that you have a great Sunday. And as I said to all of our friends that have got their toes wet at the moment, and I know that is a complete and utter understatement, I hope you are faring okay, and that you are drying out and that you can move on and get on, and you just need to let us know when you're back on board, because we would love to hear from you. All right, so love to you all, and I shall see you at 2 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon with Emma. Okay, bye.